Da, da, da. Man, I think BTC is gonna sweep another low, and then we might get in. Fucking crazy market lately. Honestly, just so I'm getting my account's getting chopped up a little bit. I can't lie. In these conditions, just like bro, the RR is just terrible. It's like we're not even flipping trend. It's just a continuous downtrend, no matter the support levels we hit. What's going on, King David? It's like we make a lower low, and then we hit that lower high. But like I said, we're not flipping these EMAs, which is kind of concerning. It's just like a harsh downtrend, which I thought we would have already flipped these EMAs by now, but it makes sense. Tia, I might start buying some Tia spot down here soon. I know Bryce is buying Tia spot, but I think I'm gonna buy some soon here. Good area to buy. All right, we got 33 people here. We got 9 minutes before we start. For those who attended last week's chapter 2 workshop, how are we feeling about calculating position sizing? Have you guys tested it out? Have you guys been using it? Goods, bad? Fill me in. Good, didn't lose money this week. Getting better at sizing. Right on, right on. You know what? Honestly, I think a big portion of this workshop is more psychological than anything. Kind of just understanding, where you are at in this journey and figuring out what you need to do specifically. A lot of that, like I said, I think everything that you guys are going through in a negative aspect of trading, it all kind of circles back to position sizing more than anything. Um, if you guys are depressed, if you guys are taking big hits, if you guys are, getting frustrated, if you guys are, your P&Ls are making highs and then steep lows, it all comes back to position sizing really. And Eli, let me pull up something actually here. See if I can find it. Eli made a post the other day, and I want you guys to look at this if I can find it. Maybe it was on Twitter. I'm not 100% sure where I saw it. Yeah, I think it might have been Twitter. Anyways, it showed his P&L curve, and you can tell at his P&L curve, he uses risk management because it's a slow and steady push up. It's not, you don't see massive gains up, which tells me that he's slowly building his account, and that's what you need to do. Let me see if I can find the post. So computer's mad slow when I'm running all these freaking programs. See, he posts a lot. It's hard to tell. Right here. Okay, so my wallet is in a bull run these last 80 days. I'm gonna copy this image. Actually, I'm gonna copy this post in general, and you guys can take a look. Um, yeah, dude, Eli still, yeah, see Wobble. The other thing is too, like even my P&L curve, I've taken two L's this week. I've only taken one win this week, and I've taken two L's. And with risk management, my P&L curve is flatlining, of course, because I wasn't extracting the profit that I should have out of my one win. or my 2 wins this week. But even you can take a lot of losses, and as long as you're extracting and taking TPs at the right ones with risk management, your P&L curve should look like that. Again, everybody's in a different part of their journey right now. But even if you just copy our traders, I mean, your P&L curve should look something similar around that, where you're making higher highs and higher lows. Um, and that's what I want for everybody. We'll start in 5 minutes, guys. But look at that post there. Like, that's the type of P&L curve that you want to strive for, and you're only going to get that type of P&L curve with risk management. I'll show you my P&L curve as well. It's a little bit changed. I don't know if I have a image here anymore. Let me go to my Bybit account real quick, and I'll take a photo. See, and again, every P&L curve is a little bit different. So that's Eli's, right? 180-day profile, or 180-day P&L curve, and this is mine. See, very, very similar, and I can show you guys just 1 second as well on the camera that I'm not capping. See, not capping. I can scroll up, scroll down. No capping. It's a real app. All right. So, and that's just a testimony of what risk management is, guys. And I'm not, like I said, there's a lot of fakes around here. And the reason that I'm in Wealth Group right now, and the reason why everybody is in Wealth Group, is because we are transparent. So, I just want you guys to know that it is possible with risk management. That's what your day trading portfolio should look like. If you're using risk management practices with on-chain, those kind of things, as well as spot buying, your portfolio should look like that as well. Again, on-chain is a little bit different, but there's just you can bring these practices that we have been teaching in these workshops the last month, and and bring it in every aspect on a lot of things of just trading in general. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to go over that as well. And like I said, it's a lot of just psychological. You got to break bad habits, like we've been talking about. You got to understand what kind of cycle you are in. Are you in a continuously negative cycle? If you are, you need to sit yourself down and ask yourself, you know, what do I need to do to make a difference in my journey? Trading should be fun. Trading shouldn't be stressful. Trading for the majority of the time should be fun. You should enjoy what you do. If you enjoy what you do, you'll get better at what you do, and you can make a career out of this. Again, if you guys are having these issues, again, it didn't take me, it took me 2 years to get to this P&L curve, guys. It took me times. My P&L curves before, I don't even want to show you my previous Bybit accounts that I had, or my previous exchanges accounts on BitGet, those kind of things, because they are brutal. It's terrible. But once I restarted, once I really, flushed all of the losses, all of the bad habits that I, accumulated over those 2 years, or a year and a half, restarted, started fresh, started with a fresh account, and I sat myself down and I said, "This is what I need to do to succeed in this, so I'm gonna do it." I said what I was gonna do, and I did it. That's the type of man you want to be as well. You want to tell yourself, you want to say something to yourself, and if you tell yourself that you're gonna do something, you got to do it. That's how you build confidence. All right. So once you start doing the things that you said that you're gonna do, you start building confidence, you start building momentum, and kind of everything else falls in place. Life gets a lot better. It's kind of like with working out as well. You know what I mean? If you tell yourself that you want to lose weight, okay, you got to sit yourself down and you got to make a plan. What do I need to do to lose weight? All right, you need to eat healthier. Maybe for some you need to calculate your macros. All right, and you need to get in the gym. Same with trading. What do you need to do to be successful? All right, you need to have risk management. You need to cut out the emotions. You need to have a strategy, or you need to copy trade our traders with extreme risk management. All right, guys, it's officially 10 o'clock. We're going to get into this. So We're gonna do chapter 2 again. We do have someone filming here. Cypress is gonna be filming here, so let's get on a blank. Um, let's restart all of this here. Get on a blank canvas here, and let's get into calculating position sizing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a recap of chapter 1 really quick here, guys. But let's get this going. Um, chapter 2. I'll bold this up. Calculating position sizing. We'll put this up here. We'll do this. I have alerts going off. The market's kind of moving right now as well, guys. So I might have alerts going off while we're doing this. So I apologize for that. Just let me get this ready here. We're gonna go non-bold, and we're gonna go 20. We're gonna go 22. All right, guys. So in order to have proper risk management is at the utmost importance to calculate position sizing and have a general basis of how much percentage of risk that you're going to be using towards your total portfolio per trade. At Wealth Group, we recommend 1 to 2% per trade as a new trader. Dude, in a lot of market conditions, my risk fluctuates from even 0.5% to 0.25% of my total portfolio. We are all creatures of, we all get that itch that we want to trade all the time. So if you guys do get that itch and the market conditions aren't favorable, like we are in right now, trade with 0.25% of your account. Practice a little bit. Practice things that, if you want to use live accounts and you can't get over the hump of using a demo account, practice with very, very small amounts. All right. But in favorable conditions, if you guys are new, I recommend 1 to 2% per trade. Now, again, too, we talked about this last week. It kind of comes into your discretion. This is why we post trade trackers, not only for transparency, but for you guys to realize that some traders excel with certain trading pairs. For instance, Johnny's win rate on BTC is crazy high. All right. I don't know exactly the percentages, but I know that it's super high. For instance, as well, Woods, when he's trading high market cap alts, Sol particularly, his win rate with Sol, super high. Now, if you guys start noticing these patterns, or if you guys notice that a trader is on a really fantastic run and he's got a really good market read, you guys can size up, all right? Size up if you feel comfortable. If you guys have, really looked in and made that personal choice, or made that, you've done your due diligence, you've seen everything, you've calculated their win rate or win loss rate, which we do for you. And you start seeing these patterns. Like I said, use your own discretion. Take those higher portfolio trades, 2, 3%, 4%. But again, you don't want to be using 10% per trade. All right, that's not in the business that we're doing here. We're not doing that. We're not using 20% of our portfolio. We're not using 30% of our portfolio. We're not doing that per trade. We're using very small increments to gain small amounts at it, over time. Okay, let's get into the next topic here. This is where we do a little bit more of a recap. All right, let's do a quick recap of the last class and my expectations of you guys and what I want you guys to implement moving forward. No more max leverage. All right, we're cutting that out. No more using the position slide bar to calculate position sizing. We're not doing that, and I'll show you guys an example of what we're not doing. And we are flushing all the losses and starting completely over. Okay, guys, this is more for psychological reasons. Start over, make those new accounts, make that new Bybit account. If you don't have a Palau, buy a Palau now. Start over and start implementing things that are going to help you move forward in this journey. And I'm a big advocate of starting over, flushing all the losses, kind of resetting your mind to get to where you want to be. Now, when I say position slide bar, I'm going to show you guys a picture real quick. If you guys are using this tool right here, the position slide bar, the position sizing, you guys need to stop right now. This is a tool meant to fuck you over. Um, Now using it for to take profits, that's fine, but if you're still using this to calculate position sizing, you guys are gonna get cooked. And that's just me being honest with you. This is literally a tool implemented by exchanges to get you liquidated to take your money. Okay. That's my opinion. Again, you guys can have your own opinions on that. We're going to be using this price right here. We're going to be using 10x leverage. We're no longer using this. Okay, guys, get that out of your head now. We're not doing that. Okay, let's get into the position tool that we are going to be using to calculate position sizing. All right. Take those, put that up here. Okay, guys, so we're going to go into projection, which is right here, and we are going to save and star the long and short positioning tool. You guys will be using this every single day in your journey. Um, yeah, I use it every single day. I it's like how if you're gonna brush your teeth, you guys brush your teeth every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, maybe. You guys floss. This is what I do to get into a trade. And then that's how I treat it. I treat it as that's how I live. It's part of my life now, is this projection, long and short positioning tool. Sounds funny, but it is. You know what I mean? I don't enter a trade without using these. All right. Okay, now this is a cheat sheet, guys. And I'm going to be breaking down everything, but I'm going to copy this as well and send it to you guys. All right. So I want you guys to all save this. Oh, wait. Second, sorry about that. I want you guys to all save this because, like I said, we're going to be using the short and long positioning tool in projection every single day of the cheat sheet. So let's go over this. All right. So when you go into the settings of your long or short positioning tool, okay, let's take that on the side there. You're going to double click, and these are the settings we're going to use. All right. So this is what this portion of the cheat sheet is, and then obviously this is Bybit as well. So we're going to go into Bybit after we've calculated position sizing. So for today's instance, you guys have $1,000 portfolio. All right. Now this is just an example, but what you're going to do is you're going to go into these settings. You're going to put in your total leverage account portfolio into the account size area. All right. Um, Lot size is always going to be 1. Your risk is always going to be 1 to 2%, depending on how advanced you are with trading. Again, sometimes, like I said, sometimes I use 0.5%. If the if the all-time playing has a super low market cap, I am okay with risking 0.5%. All right. So the risk is what you're willing to lose. End game, depending on RR, which we'll go through. Your lot size is always going to be 1, and in right here, this side, right here beside the risk that you're going to put, you're going to always have it in percentage. So, guys, if I'm risking 1% of $1,000, that is $10. If you're risking 10% of $1,000, that is $100. So the nice thing is this long and short positioning tool will calculate all of that for you. So if you're having a 6-figure portfolio or a 5-figure portfolio, or a 3-figure portfolio, it will calculate the position sizing for you. You don't have to do it all by your head, by yourself. All right. And it's going to keep you accountable. You're going to always keep this at percentage, like I said. All right. And the two biggest things that we're going to be paying attention to is the quantity right here on the short or long position, as well as the risk reward. Okay, guys. Those are the two that you want to. For you guys probably see me posting, you probably see Woods posting because he's doing it a lot more recently as well. Mouse, Tariq, they always say trade is up 1 RR, 2 RR. You want to target those higher RRs. The higher that you're targeting the higher RRs, the higher your percent gain is going to be based off of that trade of your total portfolio kind of thing. So do you guys have any questions? thought anything I just said. Again, a lot of you guys were here last week as well. But for anybody new, do you guys understand what I've said so far? Do you TP at certain RRs every trade? Absolutely, Earl. I always try to target at least one RR, no matter what. What is the lot size? I'm not entirely sure what the lot size is exactly, but it does screw up your position sizing if you change the lot size. So that's why you always wanted to keep it at one. Um, I think it's kind of like I don't know exactly what it is, but you always want to keep it at one. You do not want to, like, let's say, put your risk. You guys don't want to, like, mix these two up, because if you put two lot size, your quantity is going to increase immensely, right? When it shouldn't be. So always keep lot size. That is very important to keep lot size at one. Do not mix that up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into some trades that have played out that I've personally taken. For instance, let's do BTC short that I took earlier this week. And we'll do some examples of how I calculated position sizing, and how I executed the trade by using extreme risk management, right? Go reset here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my section and take those trades. I just saw it. Okay. Let me screenshot this. Okay, guys, so we're going to be using this trade here. This short idea that I sent out in my section there as well, or the short trade they sent out, the 73.05. So we're just going to get everything ready here. I'm just going to put this in, and it was up here. So we're going to do $1,000 account. I risked 1% on this trade of my total account. The entry price was at 73.75. My stop loss was 74.028.3. Okay, so let me just make sure that my price is exact. $73.075.6. Okay, perfect, guys. All right. So as you can see, I sent out that trade. I sent out a limit order. So it's giving you guys time to go in and do these things. Again, the more that you do calculate position sizing, the more that you use these tools, the faster you'll get at putting these tools into place before you take the trade. All right. So guys, I took the trade at 73. I went into my settings, made sure that my account size was $1,000, made sure that or whatever it is to you guys, made sure that my lot size is 1, make sure my risk is 1%. I put in everything. And this is exactly what you guys would do as well. You guys would see the notification that I sent out. I'd be like, okay, it's a limit short. I'm going to go in, set my limits, and make sure that my positioning sizing is correct. So what I would do is I would look at the quantity. I would then go over to Bybit, all right, and I would put in that quantity. I'd set my limit, set my stop loss, all right. That's exactly what you would do. That's how you calculate position sizing through that. Now, when you're targeting TPs, guys, again, this workshop is more, directed towards people that are copy trading. All right. So you're going to take TPs when we tell you to take TPs. Or again, use your own discretion if you guys are, kind of on, you're independently trading. All right. But for instance, let's go take a look at where I took TPs. So go back up into wherever I have it. TO, BTC. I took TP1 at 73,075. Oh, wait, no, sorry. 71K pretty much. Let me do this. Around there, right there. So again, now since we are risking 1% of our portfolio, that is $10. So if I were to get stopped out, I'd be losing $10. But, we took TP1 at roughly, what is this? 2RR? 2RR. So now I have gained if I were to fully take out my position there, fully close the position there, I would have gained $20. I took around 50% off, 20% off. So I'm only gaining a small amount because I want to ride out this trade a little bit longer. All right. So then I took TP2 around and I fully closed the trade at 2.6 RR. All right. So technically speaking, if you guys follow these risk management theories and you took a full TP at 2.6 RR, you have at the minimum a 2% gain on your account. Bastard, for this instance, I only chose, I did market entry, take profits. I usually do limit order just to save on fees. But again, that's you when you have a strategy, guys, part of your strategy is how you take profits. Okay. So if you guys do not have a strategy, I mean, I could spend, I could have a 5-chapter, workshop explaining the strategy that I use in general. So we're not going to get into that. Like I said, it's more catered to people that are copy trading, that have a strategy based down kind of thing. Right? So I'm not going to go too deep into how I take profits, but like I said, you always want to target at least 1RR. Because if you're targeting less than that, the trade doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you risk a loss of a 1% and you're only targeting, a 0.25% gain on your account? It just doesn't make sense. The risk reward is not there. If you're going to be targeting 1RR, if you're willing to lose 1% of your portfolio, you want to target 1% of your portfolio, a gain of 1%. Does that make sense? That's what risk reward is, guys. What are you, have a balance between what you're willing to lose and what you're willing to gain? You need to have that. Earl depends. So Earl asked a question, guys. He asked me, what do I have a rule? What's my rule of taking percentages off of my take profits? My rule is, and again, it's kind of dependent on market conditions. So my rule is if my trade hit a 1RR, I'm more than likely 50% out of that trade because I know that over time, if I gain 0.5% on my portfolio per trade, my P&L curve theoretically should continually climb up and have that hill look to it. Trade IT, again, that's up to your guys' discretion. A lot of the traders too, guys, if you guys are copy trading, they'll tell you how much they're taking off. Tariq is a very good trader for this. He'll tell you if he's taking 25% off or, he's saying that, I'm holding for longer, that kind of thing. These are the types of things that we do for you guys so that you guys can maximize your profit. In certain market conditions, absolutely, I'm taking profits aggressively. The nice thing is too, guys, is that, as a Discord group as well, wealth group in general, we take profits aggressively 9 times out of 10. Sometimes we kind of get in a funk and we don't. But taking profits aggressively never hurt anybody. I do recommend taking profits, taking big amounts of profits off the table at TP1. Again, guys, look at your trade trackers. Look at the traders' trade trackers. What is the percentage? Are you seeing a 90%, stop break even after TP1? How many trades are going to TP1 and getting stop break even after that point? You know what I mean? Look at these things if you're copy trading. Look at those things in your strategy. Okay, how many break evens am I getting after TP1? You got to ask yourself these things. If you see that pattern, take a lot off at TP1 or even close the entire trade at TP1 or at 1RR. One of the best traders that I see doing this right now is Eli. If you guys have followed his 1K to 10K challenge, he's okay with taking full take profit at 2RR, 1RR. And I did that just with this trade as well. I took full TP there. Again, the trade played out, but who cares? I booked massive profits off of it. Trader IT, yes, I do recommend that, especially as a new trader. I think it's gonna gain you're gonna gain a lot more out of it than just hodling and waiting for the moon. Bastard says, I have a normal job, I can't watch the screens. Okay. If you guys have, if you guys are working 12, you have a 9 to 5, you're working 12 hours, 15 hours days. I used to be like that. I used to be in your guys' shoes and I used to trade. I used to be a member as well before I joined Wealth Group, while I was in working blue collar jobs for 15 hours a day, 6 days a week. All right. So if you guys are having troubles managing positions, find traders that make it easy for you guys to set everything before you go to work. For instance, I usually set limit order TPs. I set limit orders in general. So if you guys go into my section or my corner and you see a limit order and you can set everything all at once, then you guys can go relax. So Michelle is a very good trader for limit orders. Usually they get filled and they're instantly in profit. All right, follow those traders or follow spot traders as well, but take the risk management, everything that you've learned with this risk management workshop, and bring it over to the spot trading as well. I started taking profits earlier. I take 25% profit a lot of times at 2% profit and move stop losses, break even. Perfect. That's great practices. See, again, guys, too, if you guys attended the chapter 1, like there's a reason why our traders take profit at certain areas. It's because where they're taking profit is at a point of, let's say, change of character of the trade. So if you're in a short and we take profit at a short area, it's because our traders think that that's a possible bounce area and the trade could go against us. So that's why we take profits. That's why we move stops break even at certain areas as well, because we're approaching areas of bounces, and vice versa if you guys are in a long position. So you guys can't blindly go into a trade and just like, hey, I'm going to set a TP at 10%. You kind of need to, you need to either find the traders that, put limit order, take profit points, or just follow them and do exactly what they say. Have your notifications on at all times. Leverage means nothing, said Sedishiv. You can have max leverage and still calculate position sizing, and it's fine. The only thing that will change is your margin. How much free margin do you have? But again, guys, like I said, you don't need to even think about leverage, to be honest. Leverage is irrelevant in this game. Absolutely irrelevant. It's all position sizing. Honestly, I hate that question. I don't want to like, be upset with you because it is a logical question to ask that, like leverage, even asking any questions about leverage, to be honest, dude, like it's a waste of time if you look into leverage. It really means nothing. A leverage is a tool to liquidate your account. What do I mean by position sizing? It means you're going in and you're taking the quantity like we discussed. That's why I have this cheat sheet here, guys. Position sizing is taking the quantity of using this position sizing tool and putting it into your exchange of choice. We're taking that quantity, guys. We're taking this quantity here of Bitcoin. But let's do some more examples. Let's go take some traders trades and see what we got. Actually, I'll do one more example of one of my trades that played out. Actually, let's take a look at Modine. I took this trade last night. I got stop break even. This is a great example. So I took this trade, got stop break even, guys. Let's go down to the lower time frames. Let's see, how much did this go into profit before I move my stops break even? Yeah, roughly. So I was looking at Modine, and I knew that that was a possible bounce area. And if we weren't going to bounce here, we were going to, go a lot lower. And that's exactly what we're seeing. But let's go calculate our position sizing. Let's go in and calculate $1,000. Let's go take the screenshot that I put out yesterday, or the alert that I put out yesterday on this trade. And this is exactly what you guys would go and do once you see a notification from a trader. Now, again, this is where it kind of comes into play. Where are we in risky market conditions right now? We are. Okay, so we're going to be moving stops break even a lot faster. We are still going to target 1 RR because that's just my rules. So I called out this trade last night. Okay. So you're going to see this. You're going to go in. You're going to grab your long position or whatever. You're going to put in the correct account size. You're going to make sure lot size is 1. You're going to risk 1 to 2%. All right. You're going to keep this at percent. You're going to put in exactly what I have here. So 0.79 with a stop loss of 1,501. So I'm risking a 1% of my total portfolio. If I have $1,000 and the trade goes against me, I'm losing $10. Now, if the trade were to go in my favor, I'm targeting that 1 RR. Targeting if I'm willing to risk 6% on a trade, that's why I have that there. I am targeting 6%. Okay. So I'm targeting that 6% at that 1 RR. I would take TP1 right there. Now, technically, that would be a 1% gain if I were to close out the entire position. Now, if you're following what I just said here and you take 0.50% or 0.5%, that's a 0.5% gain of your total portfolio. Okay. Now, oh, sorry, guys. I don't know why that is right there. Trade IT, yes, I use this tool on TradingView. Okay, guys, let's go do that again. Let's go over kind of exactly what I was saying. So I input exactly everything that I put here. It is a 6% stop loss. That doesn't mean I'm risking 6% of my portfolio. I'm still risking 1% of portfolio. But since I calculate position sizing, that's why, the position, the quantity is the most important thing when it comes to that. So I see this, I set the limit order, I go into my trading view, I make sure that my trading view settings or my long projection tool settings are correct. You're going to put your account size in there. Your lot size is 1. You're risking anywhere between 1 to 2% of your total portfolio. So I'm risking 1% of $1,000. That's $10 that I'm risking if I take a stop loss. Okay. I input the entry. I input the stop level. I'm taking that quantity. I'm going over to Bybit. All right. And this is where you pull out your cheat sheet. You're going to go input the quantity into the quantity aspect, the limit order aspect of Bybit. I'm going to show you exactly what that is right now. Okay. So guys, you're putting in your limit order there. Then you're putting in the quantity right there that's highlighted. As you can see, I'm using SOL as an example. You're putting the quantity of SOL, or for this instance, Modine. You're going to TP and stop loss, and you're putting in basically everything I have there in your exchange of choice. Okay. You press long, your limit fills, then you follow the trader. That's it. That's easy as that. Your risk is managed. You're following the traders. You're doing everything that you say that they say that they're doing. And you should see a consistent gain in your portfolio. For instance, I moved my stop loss break even really quick because I said it's either going to go from here or it's going to break down. I got stop break even. The trade didn't do anything for me. If anything, I lost a little bit for fees. Okay, let's go get another example from another trader. Let's go Let's go into the trade section. Let's go to the active futures. Let's go take a limit order from Woods. Let's go take his ETH limit order, all right? ETH USD. I'll show you guys exactly how I would copy trade. Exactly. So I'm taking that trade, guys, from Woods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my position tool, make sure that my account size is correct, make sure that my lot size is correct. I like this trade, so I'm going to risk 2% of my total portfolio. I'm going to input the entry right there. So he's going to enter at 2249. All right. His stop loss is 2135. Okay. And he has a DCA order as well. So we got to take that into account there. So I'm going to draw a horizontal tool. I'm going to go into coordinates and I'm going to put a DCA order there as well. Okay. So he's DCAing 2210. Okay, guys. So this is where it can get a little bit complicated for a lot of you guys. Okay. So he has a 9% stop loss. All right. I'm going to be risking a total of 2% of my portfolio. So if I were to get completely stopped out, if I were to get filled here, and get completely stopped out, I'd be losing $20 on my $1,000 portfolio. Oh my God, dude, I hate this sometimes. There we go. That makes a lot better. This is why you always double check and triple check your entries and things like that, position sizing. The more you double check, the more you do it because you can make mistakes. I'm going a little bit fast, but okay, so this is a lot better. Okay, guys, so if I were to get filled here, get filled on my DCA order, and get fully stopped out, I'd be losing $20 of my total of my $1,000 account size, all right? Now, if I were to get filled here, filled at the DCA limit, I'm still targeting 1 RR, all right? So that will, bring your position sizing down. You're still targeting 1 RR. So what you guys will do is, since we are risking a total of 1% at our initial entry, so we're risking 1% at 2249 and we're risking another 1% at 2210. Trade IT, this is leverage, brother. Leverage is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I only trade on leverage. I only trade on futures. That's it. I never take any spot trade. I only trade futures and on chain. So you're going to still use this with leverage or without leverage. Leverage is irrelevant. We don't use leverage. Leverage is a tool meant to destroy your account. So again, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Bybit. I'm taking that 0.880 quantity of ETH. I'm going into Bybit, setting the limit, setting the quantity size of 0.088. I'm setting another limit order at 2210 for a quantity size of 0.088 again. All right. And so if I were to get fully filled, I'd be risking 2% of my portfolio. And we'll do more examples. We'll do as many examples as you guys need, but that's exactly what I would do if I were to copy trade. Is there a reason you don't include risk on the limits you post? I've learned a lot following Tariq. I'm going to probably start doing that a little bit more. But for instance, I think everybody should be doing it. Tariq's really the only one that does it. But yeah, I'm going to be doing it a lot more. Again, guys, in certain market conditions, like right now, I wouldn't be risking 2-3% per trade. It's just not viable, especially if you're taking longs. If you're taking shorts here, yeah, you can risk a little bit more because the market's favoring shorts. But if you're looking for longs, you don't want to risk the house. I prefer TradingView. I don't like Calctrade. No, your position sizing won't be lower. Uh, Your position size is going to always stay the same if you're calculating position size with the trading tool. All right, the trading tool, this long tool and short tool will give you the correct quantity every single time with or without leverage. Exactly. That's perfect, King David. 100%. But again, guys, too, that's when it comes to discretion. Like if you're seeing a high win rate on BTC from Johnny, you know, it's up to your discretion to, that if you want to risk a little bit more, you can. And the theory is, as long as you're risking, you're not risking 10% of your portfolio per trade or 5% of your portfolio per trade, but staying in between that 1 to 3 to 4% range per trade, hypothetically, you should be profitable, especially if you can gauge trends. But if you're new, like I said, if you're a new trader, always risk 1 to 2% until you start getting into the groove of things, until you start having market biases, uh, that kind of thing, until you're able to, gauge trends. Those are all very important aspects of trading that everybody should strive to learn. But guys, do you understand that if I were to get fully filled right here, filled on this entry, filled on the DCA entry, if I were to get stopped, I'd be losing $20 of my portfolio because I'm risking 2% on a $1,000 account. If I were just to get trade rate or filled right here and the trade goes in our favor, we'd look to TP1 at 1 RR. That's still a 0.5% gain on account. Okay, let's go do another example. Let's go take another trader's example here. Let's go and see if... So Woods just gave out a Doge limit. All right. And I want you guys to go and do this as well. All right. So let's go. I'm going to screenshot this. I want you guys to go into your trading view if you guys have it dual monitors and you're able to, or go onto your phone and take these and practice calculating position sizing. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go and take this trade with using proper risk management, proper position sizing theories. Okay. That we're teaching here. Okay. We take our long position. He set a limit at 1.39. His stop loss is 12981. Why is it doing that? Sometimes oh, this is a type stop loss. Oh, it's because this is why. Okay, let me start over here, guys. Sorry. Oh, so this is about to get filled pretty soon here too. Pretty close to getting filled, boys. This is a good trade to take example. There we go. Perfect. Okay. He has a DCA limit, so I'm going to set a horizontal tool again. I'm going to put in the coordinates at the DCA limit at 136. Okay. Going to make sure that everything in the settings is correct. So my account size is $1,000. My lot size is 1. I'm going to risk a total of 1% if I were to get fully filled. This is going to always be a percentage. My entry price is correct. My stop loss is correct. All right. I'm going to go in, grab the quantity again. So I'm going into my exchange. I'm setting a limit at 139 for a 544 Doge into my Bybit account. I'm setting my stop loss at 12981. Then I'm going to go and set another DCA limit at 136 for another 544 Doge. My entry is correct, Mouse. So if I were to get fully filled and stopped out, I'd only be losing $10. If I were to get fully filled and in profit, I'd be targeting 1 RR roughly for my TP or following the traders with their TPs. And that's how I execute with proper risk management, guys. Proper position sizing. Now, again, your settings are going to look different. Your account size is going to look different. Your risk per trade is going to look different. That's at your discretion. You know what I mean? Now, if I were to risk 1%, I'd get filled 1% here of my total portfolio. If my limit order were to get filled right there as well, I'd be risking 2% of my total portfolio on full fill. So my quantity changes right there. So if I were to, if I was wanting to risk 2%, what you would do is you'd go into your Bybit exchange, you set the limit, you put in 1,088 Doge into the quantity section. All right. Then you're setting another limit at the DCA order at 136, and you're inputting another 1,088 Doge. Make sense, guys? Is everybody understanding? Do you want a couple more examples of how I would execute trades with risk management? Okay, we'll do a couple more. Let's go and try finding a short, actually. Let's go see if we can do a short. I think Tariq just pulled out a short as well. Active trades. Tariq, yeah, he just put a BTC short out. I'm taking this short. All right. A 1 limit short. These are my favorite. I usually typically only do 1 limit because it's better RR typically. Go to BTC, USDD. I don't really like doing multiple DCA orders or scaled orders because it ruins RR if you don't get fully filled. Now it may, it may bring your average entry down on a full fill, but RR it just isn't the best if you're doing scaled bids, particularly. That's just my opinion. And yes, the stream is recorded. Okay, guys, so I'm going in. His entry is 68,600. His stop loss is 68,961. Very tight stop loss. Beautiful. 68,961. 68,600. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our settings again. You're always going to double check this, especially as you're learning this. Make sure your account size is at your account size. Lot size is at 1. Your risk is always going to be anywhere between 1 to 2% per as a new trader. Your entry price is correct. Your stop level is correct. So what we'll do is we literally just go in, grab the quantity right there, guys. So we're going to be risking 0.028 Bitcoin. All right. So if we were to get filled again, guys, and we were to take the stop loss, we'd only be losing $10 of our account. If the trade goes in our favor, we're going to be taking profits at our trader's recommendation, whoever you're following, or at 1RR and moving stops break even. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that 0.028, you're going to go into your exchange, you're going to put that in your quantity. Okay. So let's go do that now together. I'm going to open up my Bybit. I went to the BTC pairing. I'm setting the limit at 68. $68,600. You guys see that? Kinda. 68,600. I'm going to the quantity tab right there, guys. Okay, I'm going to the quantity tab. I'm putting in that 0.028. I'm going to the stop loss now at the bottom there, where it's you can take either set a limit take profit or a limit stop loss. And I'm going to put in 68,961. And you can see at the bottom there, if you guys are following along, it will tell you how much you would lose on that trade. And guess how much I would lose on that trade? I'd literally lose $10. Okay. You guys should be following along with me. You guys should be doing this with me. You guys should be going through the motions with me. All right. And that's what the next chapter is. I'm literally going to bring somebody on, or we're going to go through these things together. Just to showcase that you guys can do it and that other people are understanding the theories more from me than anything. We're going to go through that workshop. That's the last class. We're going to go through these together. You guys are going to show me what you've learned. And then I'm going to help guide you or if answer any questions that you guys have issues with. All right. But again, guys, my webcam, my camera is not really showing that there, but at the bottom there in the red, you see that I'm risking $10. Okay. Make sense, boys? Everybody getting the theories? It's super simple once you really get in the habit of doing it every day. It's gonna, it's gonna happen. Like you guys are gonna be so fast with it. I do apologize for a little bit the missteps, a little bit, entries being wrong here and there. It's just because I really never take anybody else's trades but mine, right? So I don't have to input entries a lot of the time, except for my own. All of these lessons are going to be recorded, yes. Okay, what do you guys have any questions for me? Do you guys want one more? We've been at it for about almost an hour now. Can you show it for DCA entries once? Yes. Let's go do another DCA entry. Let's go take another trader's trade that has a DCA entry. Let's go take let's see what Woods has here. He has a stop loss manual. Let's not do that. The futures. So I'm going to active futures. Johnny has actually let's go take a Tau trade by Tariq with a DCA order. This one's pretty low, isn't it? So he's going to take a Tau entry at 378, 371, stop loss 354. Let's go to Tau. If you have multiple limits, you have always to discount what you risked before in the previous limit in the new limit, right? You always, if you have multiple limits, let's say if you have two and you have like your previous trade was you're risking 4% per on a one limit trade, yeah, you're going to have to change that risk. That is not yet filled in case you want to have another order. Yeah, you're gonna always have to go into the tool and make sure that your risk is correct and calculated. Like I said, guys, if you have 2 limit orders and you're risking 1% of your total portfolio, that means that you have to change this to 0.5 if you're wanting to risk a total of 1% of your portfolio on a full fill. Okay. Now, if you're wanting to risk 2% on a 2 DCA limit order trade, then you keep this at 1% and you set the quantity at both those limits as a 1% trade per se. That makes sense. But let's go do it. Let's go risk. Okay, let's go risk 3% of our total portfolio on this Tau trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1.5% in the risk column. Okay. And so that means that if I get filled on the first limit order, I'm risking 1.5% of my total account. And if I were to get filled on the DCA limit order, I'd be getting risking 3% of my total portfolio. If you change the risk, your position sizing will change accordingly to your risk. Absolutely, every time with this tool. Perfect. Does that make sense, FRock? Awesome. Awesome. I love that. Okay. So he is looking at 378. His stop loss is 354. Okay. He has a DCA limit. I'm going to set a horizontal line. Coordinates, DCA limit at 371. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our Bybit account. Let's do this together. We're going to go to Tau. So as you can see, I typed in Tau at the top there on perpetual list. So I'm picking Tau. All right, at the top there. We're going to go to the limit order column. We're going to go into, and we're going to, our first limit order is 378. And we're taking the quantity, okay, 0.625. Okay, as you can see, I set the limit order. The quantity is 6.25 Tau. All right, as you can see there, it's Tau. Then I'm going to put in the stop loss at 354. Okay. I'm risking 1.5% of my total account on limit order number 1. If I were to get fully filled, I'd be risking 3%. So limit order 1, if I were to get filled, I'd be risking $15. All right. And you can check by that. You can see at the bottom there in the red, I'm risking $15. All right. So I press confirm. I open the long position. Then I set the other limit order. So I'm doing 371. I'm risking another 0.625 Tau. Okay. I go into the TP and stop loss. I have the same stop loss. I open the long limit order. I have 2 limit orders set now. So if I were to get fully filled and stopped out of my trade, I'm risking $30 or 3% of my total portfolio. If I were to get fully filled and the trade were to go in our favor, we're targeting 1 RR. So we're taking TP1 or full TP at 1 RR. So that's a $30 account gain. Or if you guys are copy trading, you're going to take profit where our traders tell you to take profit. All right, guys. Is everything kind of coming together now? Are you seeing the process that I go through with these trades? I'm going into my Bybit. I'm taking the quantity. I'm putting the quantity in there. I'm putting the limit order in there. All right. It's super easy. It's just these constant steps that you need to do. Step 1, find the trade, find the limit order, go into TradingView, calculate your position sizing with the long positioning tool. You're taking the quantity. You're making sure that your account settings are correct. Your lot size is always 1. You're risking anywhere between 1 to 2% per trade on full fills. Take that into account. On full fills, you're risking 1 to 2% of your total portfolio. All right. You have the correct entry of that limit order or market order. You have the correct stop level as well. You're going to be doing this for every single trade, market order or limit order. Now, I'm a big advocate on limit orders because you're saving money on fees. You can set these limit orders by all means, guys. Just make sure that you're doing your due diligence and you're going in and calculating your own position sizing. You're putting in your own account size, not just mine. Trade IT, yes, I use Teal Street. Do you guys want to see some examples of Teal Street? I can do that probably for you guys. I'm going to dox my portfolio size right now, which is okay. I don't really care. Let's pull up Teal Street, guys. Let's get this going. Okay, you guys see Teal Street? I'm actually looking at long SOL. I set out a limit order on SOL. I'm buying 150 SOL. I'm risking a little bit more of my account size. But as you can see, I have everything, I gotta reset this. Let's actually do that. Okay. Let's go take my SOL limit order that I just placed. Okay. So I'm looking at long SOL. I'm looking at long SOL at 155.11. So I should probably stop. Stop loss is 148.86. Okay, guys. All right. Now, for instance, I have an $18,000 account right now, 18,500. All right. It's bouncing everywhere between $18,000 and $20,000 right now. It's pretty annoying, but it is what it is. But for instance, let's go put that in there for my case. So I have an $18,000, $455 account. My lot size is 1, and I like to trade, so I'm going to risk 2% of my total portfolio. Okay. I'm taking that quantity, 59 quantity. I'm going over to the SOL column. I'm making sure that I'm in the limit order, place order column. I have post on. I'm going to go put 50 SOL into that account. My price that I'm going to be longing is 155.11. I set that limit order. You see it's exactly at my entry. Now I have hotkeys, but if you want to set a stop loss, you just have to drag that down and it'll tell you exactly what you put your stop loss there. For my instance, why is it going away? There we go. For my instance, I just press F on the hotkey and I click and my stop loss is put up. See how fast that was? I really don't even use the trading view since I'm on Teal Street so much. I got to calculate my position sizing with the trading view tools either way, or within Teal Street. But it's super fast. You know what I mean? Especially as you guys get better at this, as you guys start using Teal Street a lot more. Even if you're not an independent trader yet, use Teal Street to execute trades and manage trades. It's going to make life so much easier, so much faster. Okay. Easy as that. Let's go take another trade. Let's go take a BTC trade. I got to set that limit order again, but I'm going to be risking a little bit more on that trade because I like to trade. Let's go into the active futures trades and let's go take. Okay, so Eli has a limit order on ENA. Let's go to ENA on Teal Street and let's give you an example of ENA. Here's a limit order at 3150. 3150. Here's a stop loss at 0.288. He has a DCA order This one's about to get filled too. This is a fire trade right here. This actually looks like a beautiful trade. I might actually take this trade right here. I can already tell I like it. His DCA order at 0.31 flat. Okay. I have a $18,000 455 portfolio, 18K, 18.5K portfolio. My lot size is going to be 1. I'm going to risk a total of 1% of my total portfolio. All right. My entry price is correct. My stop loss is correct. Okay. I'm going to take the, what is that? I can't really tell what that is. I don't know. 2,477 or 2,400. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. It's 2,417. Okay. I'm setting that. My entry is 0.3150. Now again, guys, I use hotkeys, but I'm just gonna for purposes of the workshop, I'm gonna put everything in manually. Now, if you guys are familiar with hotkeys, I'm gonna set my DCA order with this hotkey here. Okay. And then I'm setting a stop loss right here. All right. So for instance, if I were to get fully filled, I'd be risking a total of 1% of my portfolio on a full fill. If I were to only get half filled, I'd be only risking 0.5% of my portfolio. But if I were to take a whole loss, I'd be losing 1% of my total portfolio. How do you DCA use scaled bids? Okay, let's see. Should I go for Teal Street? I've been using Binance and Bybit for a while, but not, honestly, I'm half and half. I've honestly, the more that I kind of get better with trading, I use my phone a lot more than anything now, just because I'm always doing other stuff on the computer or I'm trading constantly. It's like I went to a movie last night. I was trading inside of the movie. You know what I mean? So I'm using a lot of my phone more than anything now, but I always like Teal Street. I'm always on my computer anyways. Um yeah, I have an account, but I never used it. It was missed by 0.160. It's still valid unless he canceled it. His trade. When I DCA, I just DCA from the Binance app or Bybit, depending where I trade and do with limits. Trade IT, I barely ever DCA now. Like I was telling you guys before, I hate the RR. You know, a lot of the times, again, and that's up to your guys' discretion. If you guys are following a trader and he's getting full fills every time, then yeah, absolutely DCA. But if you're following a trader and he only gets half fills or a quarter fills, the RR sucks, especially if you're risking only 1% of your trade. Now, in my opinion, scaled bids, when you start using scaled bids, this is when your portfolio size is huge, because even if you were to get, filled on a 0.25% fill, so you're only getting a quarter of your fills filled, you're still making a decent amount of money. You know what I mean? Um, but if you have a small account and you're setting literally 10 limit orders on a single trade, 10 scaled bid limit orders, and you only have $1,000 account, and you only get half fills, you're only making dollars on the trade. You know what I mean? You're not making that 1%. You're not making $10. You're making like $3 on that trade if you're risking 1%. It's just the RR sucks. And that is just my opinion. Again, once I get to 6 figures, 7-figure portfolio, and I will, mark my words, I will with risk management, then I'm okay with doing scale bids. It's a lot safer. You get really good entries, you get Pico entries every time. But my thinking is I don't care if what anybody else is doing. I'm going to look after myself and I'm going to make sure that my portfolio is constantly moving up. And if I've noticed through back testing that scaled bids isn't building my portfolio, I'm not using scaled bids. That's just my opinion. Earl, absolutely. Sometimes I make $1,000 a day. $1,000 days, absolutely happens. But again, guys, this goes back to our last chapter. In a lot of market conditions, you're not making $500 a day. Sometimes you're breaking even. Sometimes you're not making any money at all. Sometimes you're losing money. So that's why risk management is always important, and you guys are being patient. I think impatience blows up accounts. You got to be patient. You got to be realistic with your expectations. You're not going to be making $10,000 trades every day. Those type of trades come around every once in a while. But making $1,000, $500, $100, $50, $10 per day, it's a little bit more realistic. But you have to understand that it's not going to happen every single day. It's just not. Unless you're scalping on the 1 minute. Like, that's literally the only time that, maybe that's an option. Also, with scale, a lot of times you only get partially filled when you TP. But always get fully filled before stop loss, so the position size is large and stopped out. That doesn't matter. If you get fully filled, as long as your risk management is correct, you should be fine. You're not taking a bigger stop loss. You're taking a stop that you've already calculated that you are willing to take in the first place. I'm going to set some BTC limit orders, to be honest, soon here. I'm going to set some limit orders, boys. What is Sol doing? Sol coming back down or just moving up? I still has room to move back down. Okay, boys. So how are we liking this? Do we have any questions, guys? We've been at it for an hour now. I'll spend the last 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes answering questions, talking about things that you guys want me to talk about. It's up to you guys what you guys want to ask me. Again, next week's class, I'm going to be bringing you guys up here, and you guys are going to be showing me how you guys calculate position size. Again, this is a place that this workshop, you guys have to be uncomfortable, and you guys have to put your guys' self in situations that are going to make you better. And being uncomfortable is going to make you better. I'm a big believer in that. I believe struggle is always going to make you a better man. So if you guys want to come up here and you guys can do hypothetical account sizes, if you guys want to just show me examples of $1,000 position size or portfolio sizes. You guys don't have to put your specific portfolio size. Again, I don't care about doxing my port. I could care less. I show you guys my P&L curve all the time. It only makes sense for you guys to know, I'm trading with low five figures right now. That's totally fine. But I'm also, on good days, I take money out all the time. I take money out and I go and get, take out a girl and get absolutely fucked up off Casamigos. So I mean, I'm using that money. If I'm making a couple $500 a day, or if I have a $2,000 day, I'm gonna go splash a little bit. I'm gonna go enjoy that. $2,000 in a day is something to be proud of, and you guys should enjoy that money. I think Drewski, very good question, my boy. I appreciate you coming into this class. I'd say number one is learn risk management. That is at the utmost importance. If you learn risk management, if you manage your risk, and you're the type of guy that doesn't want to start a demo account when they first begin. I was that guy. I wanted to go balls deep, first trade, every single trade. You know what I mean? I wanted that rush. But again, you got to ask yourself, am I gambling at that point? And typically, if you're asking yourself if you're gambling, you probably are. So if you're the type of guy that doesn't want to start off with a demo account where you're not risking any of your own money, um, using risk management when you first start out is going to save you more money than you losing money in the beginning. Now, if you do start with a demo account, you can take these practices, start your demo account at $1,000, take the risk management practices and see how far you can grow it. Are you consistent? Now, number two is number one's risk management. Number two is learn a strategy and learn the ins and outs of that strategy. So you take that strategy, you got to know what your win rate is. What is the percentage of you hitting TP1 or TP2 with that strategy? Um, is it profitable? And then start journaling these things, making sure that your strategy, you got to learn the ins and outs of your strategy. If you learn a strategy, you should have a checklist. If that checklist is getting checked off, you enter the trade. That's what I do. That's the way I look at it. Number 4 or number 3 would probably be, taking the steps to learn on when to size up, when to size down in the market. That's the hardest part. That is the hardest part of learning when to size up and when to size down. Luckily for you, you're really close with Johnny, so you can take what Johnny says and apply it to apply it to what he's doing. He's one of the best traders I've ever seen when it comes to knowing when to size up and when to size down. By far the best. Um, but if you don't know when to size up and when to size down, that's why you have risk management. But I agree with Mouse. Jumping between strategies is going to slow you down. It's going to slow your progress. Learning one strategy, learning the absolute ins and outs of it. That's what learning the ins and outs of it comes with back testing and journaling. And then what you can do is you can build onto your strategy. You can start adding other theories onto your strategy to make it better. And the way that you make it better is learning from other people and then back testing what you've learned from other people. I'm currently in the process of adding new tools into my trading strategy right now. For people that are new, sizing up equals putting money into the market, sizing down equals stable coins. No, so sizing up means that you're willing to risk more than what your typical risk is. So let's say if I in harder conditions of the market, like for instance we kind of are in now, or choppy markets or choppy conditions of the market, I typically risk anywhere between 0.5 to 2%. Now in a risk on market, if the market is favoring my strategy, I'm willing to risk, anything anywhere between, 3 to 5% of my total portfolio per trade. That is when you're going to be sizing up and sizing down. For instance, you have seen it more times than not. Sometimes Johnny will risk huge amounts depending on how his strategy is playing within the market or the type of feelings that he gets when he's in the market. Um, he's been in the market for so long, Drew, that that he gets a feeling in his stomach where certain things, certain points of the market or the way that BTC is trading, tells him to go risk on. Or yeah, I do trade Pocky Strat with a little bit of stuff that I've learned throughout the year or 2 years that I've been trading, and I always use a stop loss no matter what. I never manually trade. So if I get stopped, I get stopped. There's no hiding it. I never use manual stop losses. I've been hurt way more using manual stop losses than using stop losses, hard stop losses. How do you play stop loss? Where do you think div will break? 9 times out of 10, if you're managing the trade, you can close out the trade based off of the div break. So you're actually closing the trade out before your stop loss hits, which I love that part of the strategy. You save a lot more money doing that. But usually, if you're placing stop losses, you want to target liquidity. So or you can use the fibs as well. I know a lot of traders uses the 886s as a part of invalidation. You don't want to see the trade go past the 886 on a lot of trades. Technically, that's a theory, like a theoretical standpoint. Um, so again, it just depends on your strategy. Usually, I put my stop losses below liquidity. So the reason why, if someone were to come to me and they ask me, okay, what strategy should I learn if I want to learn how to become an independent trader? And if you don't, that's fine. That's why we have copy trading. But you look at the Discord, who has the most amount of knowledge within the Discord, who has the most members using the strategy that they are teaching, and that's Pocky. You're going to learn a strategy a lot faster than trying to learn a strategy on your own because multiple people are going to help you within the Discord to learn Pocky strategy. That's why it's the best strategy to learn, especially as a new trader, because there's so much information in this inside of the Discord on that strategy. There's hundreds of people, hundreds of members using and learning the strategy at different stages of their learning curve. So a lot of traders are at the beginning of their trading journey. They're at their intermediate of their trading journey with the strategy, and they're at their peak. For instance, you can there's a lot of people that you can use examples with that. So I always recommend new traders to learn if they want to become an independent trader based off of Pocky strategy. Second person I would try learning off of is Tariq. Very good trader. Puts a lot of time into 101s. But guys, there's going to be a lot of changes coming to WG soon here. So we're going to stray away from 101s and we're going to try to do a little bit more workshops like I'm doing here. As you can see, next week, Rigo starts his risk management, his strategy workshop on Mondays and Thursdays, I think. But yeah, a lot of traders are going to be, switching towards workshops, kind of like this, teaching strategies, teaching, touching base on um, psychology, risk management, a lot more moving forward. So you guys have a lot to look forward to. There's going to be a lot of big announcements coming as well, guys. Lots of changes are going to be happening, and I've been super busy trying to make everything organized and make sure that everything's going to be happening, um, and that we're moving in the right direction to not only make you guys better traders, but just to make the company a lot better. I fucking hate reading, bro. Hate reading. I need to get more into reading. I fucking do not read at all. I need to read a lot more. I mean, I'm more of like a visual learner, right? So when I first started out trading, I didn't have a strategy. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Are you asking Mouse if you want a sneak peek? I can't I can't say anything, bro. I'll get killed if I say something yet. When did you start trading? I started trading roughly 2 years ago. My first year, I made every mistake in the book, though. I lost a lot of money. This year, 2024, pretty much, at the end of 2023, heading into 2024, that's when I became pretty profitable, and I've been consistent ever since the beginning of this year. That's when I've made back majority of my losses from basically the year of doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like, guys, dude, I was when I first started trading, I was 24. I had a lot of money saved up from my previous career as a commercial diver, and I was still working as a commercial diver, and I was making some good money in Canada. But my first year of trading, to be honest, and I talked about this in chapter 1, I lost all of my life savings. I was trying to save up for a house, lost all of my life savings, lost basically like damn near, I would say close to 80,000, 60 to $80,000 of all of my money. I've done the math before, and it just makes me depressed about how much money I lost. Um, but there was days where, again, I talk about this every workshop because I think it's important. But there were days that I didn't even want to get up in the morning. I was damn near in tears because I felt like a loser. My confidence was at an all-time low. I started losing a lot of the mass that I put on over the years of bodybuilding. All of my passions became nothing to me. All of my relationships, all of the healthy relationships I had in my life. I had a girlfriend at the time that crumbled. My relationship with my family at that time wasn't the greatest, and it all had to do with me basically over risking, um, gambling, in a terrible, terrible mindset of, I need to make back what I lost, and getting in that cycle of trying to make back on what you lost is just going to set you back further. So you need to get out of those headspace. You need to get out of those cycles. I call it the gambling cycles. Um, You need to get out of those cycles and you need to start fresh. And with starting fresh, if you don't want to see any of that pain, or if you want to learn from my mistakes, you got to use risk management and you got to calculate position sizing. All right. That's going to save you a lot of pain and it's going to save you a lot of suffering. Now, with trading, a lot of people say that you need to go through an entry fee of losing a lot of money, then making a lot of money, then losing it again, that kind of thing. I don't believe in that. I believe that if you stop the bad habits now, if you stop or you start before even setting the bad habits, and you take everything that you've learned from this and you start applying all of the theories, you can start out being a profitable trader. But you need to have risk management. But yeah, that's just, again, that's my point of view. But guys, like, you don't want to go through all those things. You don't want to have days where you can't get out of bed. Like I said before, at the start of this workshop, is that trading should be enjoyable, should be something that you love to do. And if you love to do it, it's just going to drive you to get better and better at it. The better and better you get at it, the more money you're going to make. Um, and the other thing is too, is you guys have to set your expectations low. You can't think that you're going to be fucking getting married or getting $1 million overnight. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be making 10% gains on your portfolio per day. It's not going to happen. And if it is happening to you right now, you're going to lose it just as fast as you got it. And if you're making 10% gain per day, your risk isn't managed. You're over risking. So don't shoot for the stars, guys. But if you have a realistic expectations, if you strive for 1 to 2% gain on your portfolio per day, or a 5 to 6% portfolio per gain per week, if you set those expectations for yourself and you achieve those things, you're going to build confidence in yourself. Setting a 10%, 20% gain per week or per day, again, guys, you're doing it wrong, especially with day trading. That's, again, like, I specialize in day trading specifically. But set expectations for yourself, build onto that, build confidence, build momentum, um, and watch everything fall in place. That's how traders, they get rich. The other thing is there's, like I said, there's a big stigma around getting rich overnight with crypto, and it's not going to happen. But you're going to get rich a lot faster than an average day job. Okay, you're going to get rich a lot faster than the person that's you know working 12 to 15-hour days, slaving for somebody else, if you build the correct habits. All right, guys. Okay, so we're coming up on an hour 30, boys. If you guys have any more questions, let me know and I'll answer them. But I think we're gonna be wrapping it up here. Again, guys, um, if you appreciate these workshops, or if you really enjoyed these workshops, go show support by leaving a testimonial in the testimonial saying that you really enjoyed it. I don't expect you guys to write a whole fucking story. Um, the way that you guys can support as well is just going into my corner here, my section, which I'll tag right here. Um, and just reacting to my posts, it goes a long way. You guys have no idea. Reacting, it motivates me to keep going as well. What I'm putting out is valuable. Going over to testimonials, telling me what you like or you don't like. I'm okay with constructive criticism. If I'm doing things that I need to change up, let me know. All right, you guys can DM me as well. I try to get to DMs. Again, guys, my workload has increased immensely over this last month. I have a lot I got to do throughout the day.
but I will try to get to DMs. But again, guys, the way that you guys show support, I don't ask for, for you guys to do anything else but to react, send some emojis my way on posts, or leave me a testimonial. All right, guys. So if you guys want to do that, I love you for it. If you don't, I still love you for it. Let's get this money. Last chapter is next week, and then I'm taking a break from the workshop for a little bit because, like I said, my workload is getting crazy. And then I'll bring it back up heading probably into December, the new year. I'll bring back the workshop as well. So if you guys aren't really understanding a lot of the topics or theories behind this, you have a lot of time. Take this cheat sheet, guys. Start applying it. Um, start bringing it to the table. Start adding it to your daily, you know, before you enter position side or before you enter any trades, go through this. Make sure you're doing your due diligence. Um, what else I was going to say? Next week as well, I'm going to be bringing some of you guys on. So let's see who has the biggest balls. Let's see who wants to put it on the line and see who wants to get uncomfortable, and show, their show what I've taught you guys and put it into real time in front of everybody. So I'm going to bring you guys on. You guys are going to share your screen. You're going to show me how you calculate position sizing using the tools, using the theories that I taught you. And like I said, let's see who has the biggest balls and who's willing to do it and who's willing to get uncomfortable. Because that's, like I said, guys, being uncomfortable is always going to propel you faster than you being comfortable and not doing the things that you should be doing. I appreciate you giving me positive feedback there, Hassan. Again, guys, I'm a real dude. I go through real life things. Um, that's why I have the face cam on as well, is so you guys can become more personal with me. I've been through the steps. I've been in your guys' shoes. I used to be a member in Wealth Group. My first very Discord that I ever joined was Wealth Group. Everything that I know off of trading, I've learned from Wealth Group. So it's definitely possible. I've been through a lot of stages. I've been through gambling stages. I've been through, very profitable stages, and then I've made it, and I've lost it, and then I've lost more. Um, so just so you know, I've been there. How did I start managing myself? I would say you gotta. There has to come a point where you're fed up with where you're at in a lot of ways, and that there has to be a breaking point, and I don't wish anybody to hit that breaking point. But I hit a breaking point where I was like, "Fuck, what I'm doing is just is gonna put me in a terrible position that I won't be able to get out of." Um, so I kind of had my back against the wall, and I needed to make changes. And when you have your back against the wall, that's when you do make changes. How do I get out of the gambler mindset? Always want to chase back losses. Earl, you got to flush. Dude. The biggest thing that is has changed things for me is starting over. Start on a new account, so you don't have to look at your shitty P&L curve anymore. All right, start on a new account. Start over. Start fresh. It's gonna do wonders to your psychological. How do you decide what pro side you should use? Depends on the market conditions. Are we in risk on stages, or are we on risk off stages? That's when I know how to again, there's a lot of different criterias that I look at. So are we in risk off, or are we in risk on? The other thing is the strategy that I'm using, is it respecting my strategy? Is the market respecting my strategy? Are we getting fills? Are we front running my fills? Are we blowing past levels? These are all things that I take into account. Again, that's dependent on your strategy though, Julian. That's your strategy should tell you when to size up or size down. And this also comes with time, right? You have to spend a lot of time on the charts to understand that. I understand when to size up, when to size down. That's why Eli is such a good trader. It's because he's put in the time. That's why Johnny is such a good trader. It's because he's put in the time. He recognized certain patterns within the market, within the industry as a whole, that tells him to size up and size down. But for this workshop specifically, I'm showing you guys how to copy trade and be successful using risk management. Hassan, maybe it is time if to look at different options. Some people, some traders speak to other traders better. I've been in the position too where I've copy traded and I'll be like, wow, I'm just literally taking loss after loss. Um, so switch up the traders. Switch up the traders and see who works for you on your time better than the other traders. Because sometimes if you're unable to manage the trade because the trader that you're following's time zone is different, that's a problem that you need to recognize. The nice thing is with Wealth Group is we have traders on all time frames or all market openings and closes, right? Everybody around the world. So we have basically a trader calling trades pretty much around the clock. I'll answer two more questions, guys, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I got some stuff I gotta do. No worries, Hassan. Again, guys, next week I'm bringing some people up. I'm challenging you guys. I want to know who has some balls on them, willing to come up here and show them everything. Again, this is a place to learn. This is a place to be uncomfortable. Step out of your comfort zone. We're all online anyways. It's not like we're doxing each other and we're going. We're doing real life classes. You guys can afford to be uncomfortable here, guys. I'm telling you right now, the more uncomfortable that you are, the more that you'll learn and the faster you'll learn. All right. So get prepared, get ready, use the cheat sheet every single day before you enter a trade. Understand where you're putting your quantity, when you're putting the limit orders, that kind of thing. Understand risk, calculating position sizing with the projection tools, and then show me come next Sunday. All right. Okay, boys. All right. I appreciate everybody coming by. Thank you again. If you want to show support, go react to my post in my section. Go leave a testimonial. I appreciate everything. Again, guys, I'm doing this for you guys because I want to see you make money, and I don't want you to see you guys go through what I had to go through. All right. And if you guys want, again, leave me some feedback too. Like we can have these more of psychology based streams where we just talk about our experiences with trading. I mean, trading is a very lonely industry, but it doesn't have to be. So if you guys want to talk and kind of go through different cycles or, different cycles of where you guys are at. If you guys are having problems getting over, losing big amount of money, and you're chasing that cycle, I mean, I call it the chasing cycle. These are things that you guys need to recognize, and talking about it will help get through it. So, all right, guys, have a good Sunday. I will see you guys later on, especially if the market starts juicing here or we start seeing some fills. I will be here, but I got lots of work to do. I got to do today. So I will talk soon. We'll see you next week. Bye now.